and the discerner of the thoughts
and is the discerner of the thoughts and the hearts of men. We know who you guys are. And guess what? If you don't know that we know, the spirit, the demons that's on you know who we are. They know that we have power over you guys. That's why when you guys hear the lessons, it can do one thing. You could repent, or you could just you'd be angry. You know what I mean? And it leads to death. They want to kill us. They always wanted to kill us.
They start hating their brother in their heart, which is the brother. Now look, you don't broke your house shots like.
He said, get him out of here.
You're doing yourself a disservice.
What to say, sir?
I was going to say that, there's some men that want to, there's a lot of people who's following the Old Covenant. If Yahushua fulfilled all 613 laws, wouldn't you want to follow somebody like that?
Right.
You know what I mean? Logically, like, he literally, and he proved you, he bested you in your own thing that you boasted, but you don't want to follow this and be like, damn. He's someone to look up to.
He did what you couldn't do.
And you guys, I don't get that.
Yeah, man. He did what you guys couldn't do. He did what we couldn't do. He did what Adam couldn't do. That's why that word 40 comes into play, man.
40 days, 40
He
nights.
fasted for 40 days and 40 nights. We was circling around the wilderness for 40 days and for 40 nights. Moses fasted for 40 days on Mount Sinai. It rained for 40 days and 40 nights. Moses was a king in Sheba for 40 years. And then he went at the age of 80 he left at 40, stayed there in 40 years, came back at the age of 80, led the children of Israel out of bondage, circled around Egypt for 40 years, and then it was left up to Joshua, i.e. Yahweh to bring. So Moses took us out of bondage, but Joshua had to bring us into the Holy Land. And then you had Saul, who ruled for what? For 40 years. And then you had King David that did what? Ruled for 40 years. And then you had Solomon ruled for 40 years. So come on. And then you had you wicked elders that like to brag and boast of how you've been doing this for 40 years. Your 40 years is just about up of holding men in the flesh, man. 40 years of holding men to carnal Passovers. 40 years
of heresies.
40 years of cursing men. 40 years of telling men who are not circumcised that they can't receive a blessing. 40 years of accusing men of 40 years of false prophecies. 40 years of just teaching lies, man. Teaching lies, man. Holding men back, bewitching men. Your 40 years is up, man. So that's why we say, when we say there was a war between the house of Saul and the house of David, and the house of Saul waxed weaker and weak, and the house of David waxed stronger, and the house of Saul waxed weaker. The house of Saul was carnality, but David was spiritual. It was the new covenant, the new man after a new heart, So we wage war with the house of Saul, a war of carnality. If you in it, you in it. It's smoke, it's up. It's nothing personal with you guys. It's business. It's business. We are ministers of the new covenant. We're not ministers of the old covenant of death. What's the point? It's stupid. He abolished it so that we could worship him in the trueness, in the newness of spirit, and in truth. All right. Hey, with that, we want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Kakadash. Peace, love, and salutations to you brothers. Tell you brothers to keep pushing, man. Keep circling the walls of Jericho. Eventually, this place is